Hello everyone. Welcome back to PB Talks. I have with me Vineet from Fanspired. Make sure to check out the channel. The link is in the title itself. You click there, it takes you straight there. They do regular football content. They have fans from all, at least the big six Premier League clubs: Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Liverpool, etc. Even La Liga, Syria, everyone they cover. And we had to do this because it has been one heck of a transfer window. I mean, this winter transfer window has been even crazier than the summer transfer window, in my opinion. Even though money was splashed left, right, and center. Um, so, how do you feel about this? Because I was literally not working today. Not working today in the sense I was online, but literally I was just checking my phone, like when does Twitter come? When does Fabrizio say here we go? When does say here we go? And obviously, we being Chelsea fans, the only one we waited for was the Enzo Fernandez here to go. Finally, it
Yeah,
happened on literally the last hour. So how has this been for you? Like it's been crazy.
yeah. So Prasad, firstly, thanks for getting me on. I know it was like a short notice, so I just texted you. Yeah, like, chalo, let's do it.
Yeah, we
But
had to. There's no other.
yeah, so like, see, since the a couple of days, so especially since yesterday, so people are like, chalo, it's getting done, it's getting done, it's Enzo Day, it's Enzo Day, and he's the perfect signing to end the transfer window what we have had because
Yeah,
we have had a brilliant transfer window. People might say we have spent a lot. Yes, we have spent a lot, but instead of waiting for 5 6 years for that, we have done it in a couple of windows. Since Todd Bowley, Egbali, everyone has come in, Vivel and all. So hats off to them that they are showing the ambition right now.
exactly.
What required at Chelsea? What is Chelsea?
Yeah.
And mind you, like obviously the release clause is almost 120 million euros for Enzo Fernandez, but we are paying only 40 million upfront right now, 25% of which I believe is going to go to River Plate, and the rest is going to go in 6 installments.
Yeah.
And he signed for 8.5 years, which
Yeah.
is like the best loophole I think Chelsea have found in financial fair play. This is like the best loophole. And now while they are considering 5 year cap, but we are already sorted for the next 5 years. So it's
To
been a
give
brilliant
context
way.
of people to who kind of say, "Oh, Chelsea is spending this, Chelsea is spending that." Let me show you just one thing that will crush all of your doubts once and for all. Rome, we have to remember that Roman Abramovich left us debt free
Yeah, that
because
is one
Chelsea
big
were a
thing.
club
Yeah,
that were running in losses, and look at the amount, 1.9 billion.
exactly.
So that 1.9 billion, he left us debt free, thankfully, and that is probably the best thing he did to us because that 1.9 billion is ours. We can spend however the hell we want.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like imagine you come in as a new owner. If you had to pay those interest, which obviously you didn't take,
Yeah.
all right, and you are paying off the interest, you're paying off the loan of 1.9 billion. It's not a small amount at all.
Mhm.
But hats off to Roman Abramovich. I mean, we know what a brilliant owner he was,
Yeah.
and the love he had for Chelsea. It wasn't just business for him. He
It was
put his
never a
heart and
business.
soul.
It was just,
Exactly.
I just wanted to win. That's at any cost. I don't care
He
how
just
it
put his
takes. I just
soul
want to
at
win.
He put his heart and soul at the club. He wanted the club to succeed. He wanted the club to benefit in whatever way he could have helped with. And this showed. And then massively the new ownerships have benefited of that. I mean, we have obviously spent around more than 200 million. But if you see the amount, 1.9 billion, we would have not spent. It would be like a mini transfer ban if we had to pay that off.
Yeah, and you look at the last like 1 or 2 days. I mean, we know Enzo has been on for a while, but the one shocking like uh, shocking in terms of like at least at this point in time compared to maybe in the summer was Jorginho because
Yeah.
Jorginho even leaving in the first place wasn't even on anyone's books. We were all thinking that because his contract expires this summer that we would leave, we would like let him go for a free. Obviously, he's been here what, like four, almost 5 seasons. This is his fifth season. So
Yeah,
4 or 5 seasons will leave him on a free. But then what shocked is, then what triggered is was the Moses Caicedo deal, and then we all saw what happened, like with Caicedo, with Arsenal going in for a bid of 55 million, and I think Chelsea also went, I think, but Brighton were adamant they were not putting up for sale, despite Arsenal going in with like 55, 65, 75, multiple bids. Brighton were like, no, he's not for sale, and
yeah,
Moises Caicedo did put out a post saying, like, thank you for Brighton giving me this offer, this, that, and that we were almost certain that Caicedo to Arsenal is done and dusted. But that didn't happen. So Arsenal went
yeah.
in for Jorginho, and his going rate was only like 5 million, and we got 12 million for him.
Yeah. I mean, see,
It's 10
obviously
plus 2
Caicedo,
add-ons, but overall it's 12
yeah,
anyway.
Caicedo and Jorginho are two different players, completely different players, first of
Yeah.
all. But yeah, I mean, it was shocking in a way because if you see in December and start of January, Chelsea was still in talks with Jorginho for contract renewal.
Yeah.
And I don't think so. Even Chelsea had in their minds that we can let this guy go because obviously this guy is massive what we have done so far. And when he came in, everyone was like he's Sari's son and all that stuff. The first couple of years were tough for him, especially under Lampard. And but then Tuchel came in, molded the team around him, what he can do best, and we saw how greatly we benefited from that. But yes, obviously he lives as he leaves as a legend because even though he's joining Arsenal as rivals, which Petr Cech, Willian, everybody did, but you know 12 million, like you said, 10 plus 2 add-ons, 12 million with 6 months left in his contract and age not exactly on his side. I think it's a really good deal for Chelsea as well. And Arsenal because they have got a player of Jorginho's caliber, mentality, leadership in their team. And he can actually be a good backup to Partey.
He's not like like a backup to Partey because like
Uh,
Partey's
yeah.
speed is that he's literally on transition when teams are counterattacking. He's literally like a statue. His
Yeah,
turning
I
is
think
so
both of
slow.
them could be the pivot where Jorginho stays back, Partey does the up and down.
Yeah, I
And,
mean, kind of how Kante did the up and down when Jorginho
exactly.
was the sitting one. But
Yeah.
that is another topic. We have to see how that pans out.
Yeah.
Obviously, Arsenal, Partey did come off kind of injured, but that should not. Let's see if that's a serious one or given his injury record, we have to see how that pans out. But this is Chelsea's winter, and you see there like
It looks like a summer.
just a long list, very very long list.
Yeah, it looks like summer and winter combined for a couple of
Yeah,
seasons.
because this year, because like normally in winter you never associate with this much. Like
Exactly.
even in summer for that matter.
It's like Chelsea have bought a whole new starting 11. Basically, it's
Yeah,
that.
almost. You look at the like even a goalkeeper. You've got Gabriel Slonia. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
we've got him. I think he's on. We've given him on loan in the summer, but I think he might come back. But
Yeah.
and of course, given our goalkeeper situation, it looks like we might not renew both of the goalkeepers' contracts. We might have to look for another goalkeeper, given the situation. Joao Felix, who we have on loan, obviously is not confirmed. Obviously, once Nkunku comes, whether Joao Felix will be um, bought, because we have to remember he did extend his contract with Atletico Madrid before he even came to Chelsea in the first place. Then you see David De Fofana, Andre Santos, Malagusto, who is now we have bought him, but he will join us in the summer. We have loaned him back to Olympic Lyonna.
Yeah.
Madueke, winger, Benoit Badiashile, who I've been very impressed with in these two games. For me, in these
Same.
two
Same.
games, he's done better than Koulibaly has done all season. He's looked
Yeah, like
yeah.
Koulibaly just lunges into tackles. Like
He's so
obviously
rash.
that.
I mean, whenever he's on the ball, he looks like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I
he's
have
aggressive.
to play this out.
Aggressive, but he needs to think. He cannot just go lunging in for winning the ball because he's beaten majority of the times in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But this Badiashile, it's like him and Thiago Silva are two calm defenders. They are
Yeah.
like, हाँ ठीक है, ball आ रहा है, आने दो, हम लोग
Huh.
देख लेंगे. We need to just lunge into challenges.
Yeah. I know it's only 2 games, but
Yeah,
the signs are positive. We see that okay, we have a player on our hands, and we have to look at the age. It's only 21, and the just the age. None of the highest age is 23. That is Joao Felix, and everyone is like 21, 22. Modric, obviously, we had the tussle with Arsenal, and then finally the biggest one of all, Enzo Fernandez, the World Cup winner for Argentina in central midfield. We have been asking for a midfielder for God knows how long. I mean, even in the summer, Zakaria was a panic buy. Obviously, now he's injured, although he did show some glimpses that he can do well. But Enzo Fernandez was the guy we have been wanting for a while, and we have finally got him. And
yeah.
towards the end of the window, it looked like, oh my God, this is going to slip, because it was last 2 days, it was literally that Rui Costa, the guy from Benfica, was literally, we had to literally push him, push him, push him. And Bagdal and Egbali was literally, he would never take no for an answer.
So, like I was watching Fabrizio's stream, like I
Yeah.
mentioned. So in that he just mentioned like not only like obviously Chelsea fans are obsessed with Enzo to come in, but Todd Bowley had made it personal that he's obsessed. He's
Yeah.
obsessed with Enzo Fernandez. He wants him at any cost, and they just wouldn't take no for an answer. But because if you see, think like you come in as new owners, obviously you want to stamp your authority on the windows, on the club, and everything.
Yeah.
They got a good enough summer signings. Obviously, there was a lot to improve because of what has happened in the past 5 6 years.
Yeah.
But then Enzo deal falls off when it was agreed with the player in January start. Then all of a sudden, last 2 days, toward 30th and 31st January,
Hmm.
picking up, we thought, okay, let's go. 30th will be the day. We have still one day to spare. People are saying we might even go for Caicedo if Enzo deal gets
Yeah.
done. But then, literally till
And
the
we have
last
been chasing Declan Rice for the last maybe 45 years. Because,
But to be fair, now I see now Declan Rice are rumored to go to Arsenal. So I
yeah.
think that right now Enzo Fernandez is a good deal with
Yeah.
the players we have currently. The only thing I'm worried about, obviously, I still don't expect immediate success.
Yeah.
The reason, if like you mentioned, like you see, everyone is so young. The
Yeah.
oldest is Ja Felix, who's 23, which is still young, and we are trying to build a
I
team
mean,
around that.
technically, in these days, 23 is kind of old to be fair. In these days.
E- Correct. I
Yeah.
agree with that. But if you see, in terms of Premier League experience,
Yeah.
in
Yeah. That is
terms
true.
of,
Yeah.
consistent, 50 to 60 games per season
Yeah.
is a big challenge, even for youngsters. Because you see
And the player and the caliber of player he is, obviously, I think he's still the high. We saw Enzo Fernandez 121 million euros. When this guy was the highest sold player from Benfica, 126 million euros to Atletico Madrid. And I think
yes.
I think he just got bored of playing centre back at Atletico Madrid. That he wants to play forward.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason Atletico Madrid. I actually feel that Ja Felix extended the contract with Atletico Madrid because Atletico Madrid want to sell him for a good price
Yeah.
because his contract was getting over,
Hmm.
and he was adamant he wanted to leave. And this just gives Atletico Madrid a benefit that they can charge a bit more for the player
Yeah.
because of the
Because they paid
contract.
126 for him. We don't want to let this guy go on a free.
Exactly. Because see, now even Chelsea paid a hefty loan amount. All
Yeah.
right. But I think it's all going to be worth it because if you see, it's like a whole new starting 11. I'm not saying everyone will be starting because of the youngsters. Like you mentioned, like Nkuku coming in, we don't know whether Ja Felix will be signed permanently. Maybe he
Hmm.
is signed.
Yeah.
Fofana might go on loan
Hmm.
because that's the benefit you have right now because so many young players, couple of them can go for a loan or something for a couple of seasons. It won't harm them at all. And this project is ambitious, and I'm all up for it, man. I'm just all
Yeah.
up for it.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen so many years of success that we can afford to take 1 or 2 years of not winning anything,
Yeah,
because even under Roman we have seen almost every year, barring maybe of 2003-4 was when we didn't win anything, and then 2007-8 we didn't win anything, 2010-11 we didn't win anything, and it's 2015-16. It's just 4 seasons out of the past almost a decade, or 2 decades to be fair, that we have not won a trophy in one
yeah,
season. So we can afford to take 1 or 2 seasons of failure. I mean, if we see teams go to transitions, I mean, not every team can keep on constantly be unsuccessful unless they are Man City, of course, because even Man City this year, they look a bit edgy and shaky. Um,
yeah.
so it remains to be seen what happens on that case. But overall, you look at the amount Chelsea have spent in this winter window alone. It's close to like 330 euros, and 100 euros is approximately 88 pounds. So you can approximately say we can say 300 million pounds has been purchased just in this winter window, and we have got back about um, 12, 13 million. And of course, there was this Ziyech thing to PSG, which got absolutely um, messed up in the last.
Deya became Deya 2.0, I feel, because
Yeah,
I mean, it's just the documentation didn't reach. But I think, when such things happen, even with the extension a bit, because see, Ziyech, the way he has been performing in the last 3, 4 games, he has been
yeah,
our best player.
yeah.
And
Good
it is
stuff.
obvious that he's the one who's pushing for a good move with
Yeah,
his performances. And he
exactly.
deserves PSG. He deserves this.
Yeah,
I think if there is a way out, both the clubs should find it because
yeah,
everything has been agreed. So the player
yeah.
should go ahead with the transfer.
Because the thing is, if it's an international, if it's not, if it's like within say an England to within European transfer, but country to country, you do get that extension of 1 hour. Only if it's
1 hour.
within England, it shuts down 11 p.m. UK time, and if it's between country to country, it can take an hour extra. So which is why I think because he's not the only one that fell off, because Omari Hutchinson was about to go to West Brom on loan, that fell off, and I
Even
think
even that,
another loan deal also went off. So it's been absolutely crazy, but ultimately we have gotten what we needed. I would have liked to got another right back. Of course, we do have Malo Gusto, but that's only for summer. This season, we somehow have to ride it out, and
yeah,
hopefully, Reece James stays fit, because we all know as much of a super player he is, he's not being able to stay fit for more than 3, 4, 5 games. He came back against Bournemouth and straight away back to the injury record. And Aspi, he has been great. He has been a legend, but his legs are shot to pieces. Chalaba
yeah.
is more like a makes you right back. He's done okay, but he's not a right back. He's a centre back, for God's sake.
Like you mentioned, see, Regions and Chilwell. I think these 6 days where FA Cup was there, Chelsea weren't playing. Then a couple of games before that, I think they have gotten enough rest with
Yeah,
the
they
new
have.
signings. Along with the
Ideally,
new
they
signings.
should start against Fulham on Friday.
Exactly. So, I just hope, like, obviously, if they are still not 110% fit, not even 100%, right now I'm just going for 110% fit,
Yeah,
they shouldn't play the 90 minutes, maybe 45, 50, 60 minutes, more than enough, right?
yeah,
Because we need them for a Champions League push till wherever we can go. We
yeah,
need them for the league push to, just go till the end, make it top four, make it to the top four by a miracle, obviously, or at least Europa League, Conference League, whatever it is. We need the miracle, and these guys need to be fit for that because otherwise, it's again going to be Chalobah at right back where we see just the attackers and wingers pushing.
yeah,
But with such players, I'm very confident that now is where the team starts taking shape,
yeah,
and a good preseason under Potter in the coming summer
yeah.
can do miracles as well.
And of course, that was Chelsea. But let's talk about the other Premier League clubs as well, who have done
Sorry,
absolutely superb
before
this.
I cut you off, sorry, sir,
Yeah,
I had to cut you
yeah,
off.
yeah. Go on, go on.
You mentioned like 300 million pounds almost transfer,
Yeah,
but to think, I like all these are the total figures which you'll be paying. But upfront, I feel we have paid a lot
Yeah,
less,
because for the
which is
Enzo deal, we only paid 40 upfront. We haven't
40.
paid 120 outright.
Where Rui Costa was like, for the first time he rejected in January because they didn't, Chelsea weren't willing to pay the 80 million, I think.
Yeah,
That
he was like either pay the whole 120 million or piss off.
And we were like, "Arey, it's only 70, 80 million where Chelsea are bidding for other players. We signed
Yeah,
Mudryk for 80 million. We were like,
yeah,
what couldn't we get for Enzo? But then I think this is what we have been waiting for. 40 million upfront, rest in 6 installments. Brilliant play.
yeah,
And this upfront payment, which is a relatively smaller amount, has enabled us to sign for a big money, which at
yeah.
the end of the day the club will be benefiting from, because even Mudryk to Chelsea, see, Chelsea offered the same as Arsenal, just a
More or
better
less
structure.
different. I think they made just there was just like a
5
5
million,
million
5
something
million,
difference.
5 million, I think it
And
was.
I think maybe an extra 20k a week in wage or something like that.
20K is not a big deal in Premier League. Even
Yeah,
you will know that.
that's
So
just some change.
exactly. So like it's the structure which changed it for Chelsea, even in the Mudryk deal. And you know, it's like hats off to these guys again.
Yeah,
Vivel, Egbali, Boli, everyone at the board. Obviously, Potter convincing Mudryk to come in, and I'm pretty sure he must have had a conversation even with Fernandez, because I read Vince, who's there on Twitter, like Enzo is the perfect fit for Potter and Chelsea. The reason is the pacey wingers we have signed, who
yeah,
keep on running. Even if we give the current Chelsea players whole of the field, they will not play the forward pass.
yeah.
They will not. But
Sideways, backwards.
exactly. But with Enzo, his accuracy in long balls, his accuracy in through balls is phenomenal. Not only with Benfica, even
Yeah,
with Argentina, we saw that. And he's a player who can actually play box to box as well. And hopefully, I'm not going to jinx it. I have my fingers crossed. Our track record with players coming in from Benfica has been brilliant. We
yeah,
got Ramirez, we got David Luiz, we got Matic, and I think one more player we had gotten. So, fingers crossed, it goes the same way. And I'm just positive for him. I'm just, because when I woke up, last 2 days was all about refresh, refresh, refresh,
yeah.
refresh.
Of
When is
course.
that? Here we go. When is that? Here we go.
Yeah,
When I woke up in the morning, I read the news. The first, forget about anything else. The moment I started my internet, I'm like, let's go to Twitter, let's go to
yeah.
Fabrizio. I'm not looking anywhere else. I'm going to Fabrizio. Pin tweet, Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea. Here we go. Goosebumps, literal chills. And I'm like the happiest guy right now.
Exactly. So, and that is the and if and as you said, fingers crossed. Hopefully that works out, and we have like obviously the compilations will be going around this, that, and the other. But we have to wait till we actually see him play a consistent run of games to see how he comes into picture, because we have signed him on a long contract in 2031. So even if say we were to sell him, we could possibly get a decent some decent amount for him. So and we've signed all these youngsters, even though you say on huge money. We have signed them on long term contracts, so we can actually put them on sale for a larger value if needs be.
And this season, I think, I mean,
I mean, not that I
obviously,
would care. It's not my money, but I'm just.
yeah, no, but if you see this season, obviously, I mean, we wouldn't want to be in this position, but the position we are in, I think now it's a benefit for the newcomers
Yeah,
that this is a season which is gone.
yeah,
It's a fit. They can, just get used to Premier League, Champions League, everything for the next 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, and aim for next season.
yeah. Because there's a good half of the season remaining. So
Exactly. But it's like, I don't think so. Many Chelsea fans are expecting a lot.
yeah,
So, you know, like even if the players take their own time, 10 games, 15 games, it's fine.
yeah. See, the best thing I'm probably expecting is maybe a quarterfinal in the Champions League if we beat Dortmund. But after that, it's obviously going to be a big struggle with all the big teams
Yeah.
around. And we obviously go to the other Premier League teams. Like we see a lot of cash has been splashed. Like you see, almost 800 million euro, 800 million euros has been spent. More than 800 million euros has been spent with a net spend of about 724 million euros. We look at Arsenal there; they have signed in the centre back. They've signed in Trossard, who I thought was a very good buy, and of course Jorginho from us. The biggest one in my opinion, and it kind of shocked me, was
Nottingham
I think it
Forest.
happened at the pretty last seconds of the transfer
I
window. Was Keylor Navas from PSG to Nottingham Forest?
Yes.
I mean, big club moves to be fair. Nottingham Forest only have 2 more Champions Leagues than PSG, so you can say he has moved to a bigger club. But you see, Nottingham Forest, I mean, summer they had so many incomings. Even this winter, they have so many incomings. And to be honest, in the last few games, they have put in a good run of form and they look like they will be staying up.
Yeah. I think the signings they have made have been pretty good.
Yeah.
And, I think they are the only guys who have matched Chelsea with the number of signings.
Yeah.
Actually, more since summer, they have signed like almost 2 teams. Like almost 22 players, 23 players.
Exactly. In summer itself, they signed about 20 something players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
You look at West Ham, they signed Danny Ings. Yeah.
I've seen every club improve the club right now. We saw Pedro Porro go to Spurs. We saw Arsenal, Trossard, Jorginho,
Yeah,
everyone.
Danny Ings to West Ham.
Ings to them. And that was one of another shocking transfer for me, to be honest, because I thought that with Good Evening coming in, he would get his chance. But what it is, because Newcastle has strengthened themselves, obviously.
And they've got rid of John Sylvie, they've got rid of Chris Wood, and they've got in Gordon, who we have been flirting with for 60 million.
I'm actually lucky for that. I'm happy that Gordon hasn't come to Chelsea, because regardless of what he has done at Everton, I mean, he is a good player. I'm not going to deny that fact.
Yeah.
I don't think so. He was what Chelsea required, and it would have been a panic buy if he would have come.
Exactly. And even Man United, they got in Marcel Sabitzer. Obviously, Christian Eriksen went down with an injury, tackled by Andy Carroll, who, believe it or not, is still playing. And he is probably out till like April or May, and they needed someone in, and they contacted Sabitzer. I think we were in for him slightly, but I think we were just focused on Enzo.
So no, I don't think so. We were ever in for him. It's just that like if Enzo deal falls off, Chelsea might go for another midfielder. Sabitzer could be a panic buy. All that stuff it was going on, just rumors.
Yeah.
I think so. Chelsea even looked the other way and focused only on that. But I think now for Chelsea, especially if I want to talk about it, it's going to be the summer's going to be all about outgoings.
Yeah.
To generate more revenue.
Players we have to get rid of.
Yeah. To generate revenue, and maybe sign a couple of players if needed, depending how the situation is. But you see, every club over there in the Premier League have improved themselves.
Yeah.
Whether it's 1 signing, 2 signings, they have improved themselves. But
you have to. There is no other choice. I mean, time doesn't stand still for anyone. Even if you're like a title-winning team, you need to improve yourself, because the defense of a title is harder than winning the title itself in the first place.
Yeah, because see, there are clubs like Liverpool and City who have not done any business.
Yeah.
Or
in fact, City yes, Cody Gakpo. That's how
Cody Gakpo come in for Liverpool, but he's not the only answer Liverpool need.
Yeah, and he also needs time, and they needed enforcements in midfield, especially given that
exactly
their midfield is made of glass, to be honest.
Yeah, so it's that, and then City, where Arsenal are strengthening, where they should be pushing for the title. They obviously the falling out has come in place between Cancelo and Pep Guardiola, which is why he
Yeah, and
left.
even some
But
players. I mean, we've seen that some players they have lost the hunger that they have had, given that they have won so much. I think the success is. It's more of that success has gone to your head
yeah,
because
I just feel that the players who started week in week out are the ones who are not performing right now.
yeah, because
See
they're
the
in
last
like a comfort zone. Nah, I won so much. I'll be starting
because
every week.
was one of them. Cancelo was one of them.
Yeah,
De Bruyne is also not as good as what we saw.
we know he is, and Gundogan, even Bernardo Silva, who we all know he literally just
Exactly.
gives it. He runs his lungs out. He doesn't look interested, to be fair.
And players like Mahrez and Grealish come in who change games
Yeah,
because they have not been playing up much.
yeah.
Uh,
And even though they have got Holland, I mean, every match you see, if you limit De Bruyne's supply to Holland, that's the attacking threat
yeah.
effectively diminished. In fact, the the fact that even we lost to them 1-0 at home. I mean, I thought it kind of
But
hurt me
yes,
because we did
it
play
was a
extremely
really
well.
good game. I think Chelsea deserved a lot more
Yeah,
that because of the way we played. Obviously, I'm not talking about the cup game immediately after that, but
I'm talking about good things. It's okay. It's okay.
yeah, but like, see, now people might say that Haaland to City have changed City's game, and
Yeah,
it's not what City was like the fluidity, which I agree with. But if you sign a player of that caliber, I'm pretty sure Pep Guardiola is not dumb.
yeah,
He signed Haaland for a reason. Obviously, I think Kane would have been a perfect fit. I think we were discussing that on our Fanspire group yesterday as well. That Kane would have been a better fit of the way he is with the ball. It's the same way Lukaku was at Chelsea. We were begging for a striker who is physical, which
yeah,
Haaland is.
yeah,
Obviously, Chelsea didn't have the fluidity to give off with, which City have given off right now. But they are still second, and Haaland is still scoring goals for fun. I don't see any problem in that as long as you're getting your results.
yeah. I mean, in some ways, you think is he hindering? Of course, he has scored. He has already broken last year's Golden Boot record. He's already scored 4 hat tricks, and it's only halfway in the season. He has been scoring for fun, but off late, you do see a pattern that if you limit the supply to Holland, that strike that goals kind of dries up, and it's
Yeah.
down to the wings like Grealish or Mahrez, who I think they're too good to be benched. They're just too good to be on the bench. I mean, they walk into almost every single other Premier League team.
Yeah,
That is
true.
the
I
thing.
mean, at least for Mahrez, because I think, I mean, obviously, again, those on concrete, but there are like slight rumors that Mahrez is being looked at by Chelsea, and I think I would have taken Mahrez even at his age
Yeah,
because we see the way he's playing. See,
of
I'm
course.
still not a big fan of Grealish, by the way. I'm not a big fan of Grealish because, I mean, people might say ki you are looking only at stats and not what he brings to the team and stuff. But even if I see what he brings to the team, yes, he drives at players, he can beat players, you know, he drags players, creating space for others. But for his price, you have to look at stats, you have to look at outcome, you have to see where that his ability is, how it comes to fruition. Because if you're just running around at players without anything, what's the point of it?
Exactly.
So let's see how it goes because now it's the last stretch. Teams have done their bit, the
Yeah.
owners have done
It's up to the team, the managers, and how he brings the squad together. And as I mentioned in my tweet, and so Poli, Egbali, Viviel, and the backroom staff have done all they can to bring in this. Now it's on to you, Potter. Now there cannot be excuses that we are lacking in this, we're lacking in that. Of course, we people tend to forget that we have almost the first team out. We have so many
yeah.
injuries, and the players are slowly coming up. People say, "Oh, Liverpool have this many injuries." I mean, come on, not even close to what Chelsea have at this point of time. I mean, Liverpool with the team they have, yes, injuries have played a part, but they should not be ninth. I mean, even we should not be 10th, but we have more. We have almost the first team out.
Other players, other clubs face, 2, 3 injuries at most. Chelsea is like, give me more of that. It's like the way we
I
have been
don't remember
spending
the
money, we
last
are.
time. I don't remember the last time. I think it may have been the Champions League final where we played with a fully fit squad.
Yeah, so like,
Probably
see,
Champions League final and probably the first like 10, 15 games before Ben Chilwell got injured.
yeah, Chilwell got injured even in the Juventus game and everything. So,
Yeah, that's
our
what. Like the
last
2021
exactly.
22 season. Up until
So
Chilwell got injured, we were actually playing top of the table and playing some superb football.
it was. I don't think so. I think the last time we saw Kante, Jorginho, Chilwell, James, and Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva has been evergreen, so I'm not going to
Yeah,
count him. These four, I think the last time we saw them play was last season, first half. If I don't remember, or maybe the Champions League itself.
yeah.
But
Would have been probably those earlier games before the
exactly, yeah.
yeah.
So
And that's how crazy it has been. And I mean, Kante, I don't I'm probably resigned to the fact that he's out for the season. I mean, if he comes back and plays, he does come back and play. But I think it's best that we accept the fact that he's not Kante anymore. We have overused him. We have rushed him back from injury. We have made him play in injury, and that's where it is now. To be honest, even Kovacic
and
for that matter. I mean, Kovacic,
because
we
we
have
don't
seen a huge dip.
have midfielders, we have suffered that you mentioned earlier. The midfield position, we never looked at it. We looked at only attack, maybe at the defense,
Yeah,
but we never looked at the midfield position, which obviously has harmed Kante. But considering that, his leg is as good as new right now,
yeah,
basically, with surgery and everything. And I think he is back with the team as well. Like, a couple of sessions he has with the team right now. And I think by the end of the month of February, he's going to come to the first team.
yeah.
think let's see, at least even see his one game importance is also a lot. We see the difference he
Exactly,
can make. A half injured Kante is still better than many of our current players.
exactly.
So, it's a big thing. That's why, see, now Chelsea have to be smart. We signed the players which were required.
Yeah,
Maybe we might need another number six if Kante leaves, because we have Loftus Cheek, Kovacic, no more Jorginho. Even if Kante stays, it will be only Enzo, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic,
Conor
which is
Gallagher.
Gallagher. I don't see as a number six at all because he wasted
I
over
mean,
there.
we received offers from Everton, Newcastle, and I don't think we were kind of. I don't think we wanted to sell him. I mean, funny how Mount, Loftus Cheek, Gallagher have outlasted Jorginho. To be fair,
No, to be fair, I'm happy that Jorginho is staying because see, we have seen Gallagher give in his best. It's
yeah.
not that he's not trying. Mount, on the other
The
hand,
thing with Gallagher is, um, I think Tuchel that because the midfield, I think it lies on Tuchel because he at the start of the season thought that he could convert Gallagher into a Kante, which clearly backfired because
so that again,
the only
Hector
thing
very
Gallagher has, I mean, the only thing
Hector.
Kante has that Gallagher has is an engine. He can run 90 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah. So that's a, but I don't think so. He's a number six. He's more like a proper number
Yeah,
eight, box to
exactly.
box, who will come up with goals, assists, and everything.
Yeah,
The same as Mount.
Mount.
So,
Yeah,
but if I want to talk about Mount, see, I don't want to see Mount go as well. You
yeah,
may call it sentimental or whatever. Mount, Gallagher are the players I want to see at Chelsea. They do everything for Chelsea. Yes, at times they are really, really poor because of their form, especially Mount this season. But I feel with the current players coming in, Mount will get benched, which I think will benefit him.
yeah,
You know, take a step back, gain a bit more perspective. Because we saw the Champions League run, he was massive in that. We saw the whole of last season, massive. Even without winning anything, he was brilliant. Yes, people might say he misses in finals and stuff and like, but he did what he could so that we reached the finals. So I see Mount staying. Not too sure on Loftus-Cheek. I mean, he is a good player who also played as fullback for us, and the versatility and everything. But I feel him, Ziyech, Pulisic are going to be the outgoing.
Havertz.
Havertz possibly not, depending on whether Felix comes as a permanent signing or not.
So many players have come in, and players are hard to go out in the summer. We have to see, but we have to wait. But for now, this is the squad we have, and let's give it a good push till the last end of the
I'm just
season because
wondering how
obviously,
many players we can register for Champions League and the Premier League. How
I
many
don't
of
know.
these?
I mean, well, let's see. They would have planned something. It's not that they wouldn't have. Um, Obviously, now that the Champions League, the cup tie rule is taken out. Before, if you're in one club in the Champions League and if you get transferred in January, you cannot play in the Champions League because you've already played for another club in the same competition. Now the rule is out. Now the rule is kind of scrapped. So now you
Yeah,
can play for two teams in the same Champions League. So, but you have to see what happens, and let's see. Let's just ride the season out. Let's see how it goes, and as long as we're seeing some signs of progress, because we need some form of stability. I mean, as much as we like trophies and whatnot under Roman Abramovich era, that is kind of what has put us in a situation now because no manager has had his own players
yeah. It
apart
was
from
like,
maybe Mourinho.
yeah, exactly. It was like a house of cards. Like, it is built, it's looking good, but one card is gone. The whole thing is just going to start
Yeah,
crumbling down, and that is what has happened. It has looked good, but I think since the last 2 3 years, even before Tuchel came in, everybody got the perspective, especially Chelsea fans, that this, his approach of just hire fire, right, is not actually the approach for the sustainability of the club, which I think in the last 2 3 seasons he as well, Roman Abramovich realized, because Lampard was given 2 seasons, Tuchel was given his time. So I think it was good, but much more sustainability is required, because the last 10 years, what has happened since 2014, 15, 15, 16 season, it's we are still recovering from it. We still have, can you imagine, we still have Bakayoko on our books. We still have, no club is ready to touch him. No club is ready. AC Milan again don't want him. No club is ready to touch him, and all of a sudden we went on to, like, one good season he had with Monaco. That also was, I think, bit average, not too good. And then Chelsea went on to spend 30 million, 40 million for him, and then he never played. And obviously, when he played shit. But other than that, because no one is ready to touch him, and that is one of the examples we are, that we are still recovering from what has happened in the past 5 6 10 years.
and yeah, so this is the squad we have. This is what we have. Let's see how we ride till like this large stretch of the season. And before closing out this video, I would like to show everyone one thing to people who say we just keep on spending. Oh, we can't compete. We can't compete. Just one. This is big up transfer market though. So this is just incomings. I'm just taken from 2011 2012 season to what it is currently. Look at Benfica. They only spent like 600 million and they got 1.3 billion. I mean, just the sales they make from players has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And look at who is third on the list. 1.16 billion we have made over the um last like 10 11 seasons. And the
The
next
only
English club
thing
that I
that I
can
think
see in the
we
list.
even also need to look at is the net amount which is there,
Yeah.
because, like, the balance, or if you may say, because that is currently in red. Whereas you see for Benfica, obviously, it's the perfect model for Benfica, I feel,
Yeah.
to buy players on 20 million, 30 million max, to sell them off for 80
I mean, you look
million.
at even Enzo Fernandez. They got him for like 12 million just one season ago. No, no, not
Exactly.
even one season ago, just the start of the season. And
Yeah.
they put a release clause, 120 million. Good World Cup. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that. I think, you know, but the best business I feel who do are Real Madrid. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, they do buy a few old players, but you can see even now the net is only like a negative 174 million,
Yeah.
which
In
is
that too in the past like 10 seasons.
exactly. So we see Inter.
Yeah, we do. Inter is there, and the next English team is only Man City with 750, and then Tottenham have actually sold players worth 700 million. Of course, a large chunk of that is the bail money, and the others are not even close. So for people to say,
Same,
"Oh, we
same
spend this, we
I feel is
spend
for
that,"
Liverpool. Same I feel is for Liverpool. Like Coutinho money is the one which consists majority of it.
Coutinho, Suarez. I have to see how much they did. Obviously, this is taking a lot of time to load, but
I think
you see,
Liverpool, if you scroll down over there,
were they? I saw
yeah,
Everton. Not sure I saw Liverpool, but yeah,
I
it is
think they
what
were
it is.
by Spurs. But yeah, I mean, I just feel that now Chelsea can improve on the books in the summer.
Yeah, Liverpool were there. Sorry, about 730. They spent around 1.3 billion, but they have like recouped about 740 million. So yeah,
So I just feel that Chelsea needs to improve their books now
yeah,
with at least 3 to 4 players moving out, and hopefully we can generate around at least like out of all the 4 players around 80 to 100 million,
yeah,
which I feel is possible.
yeah.
So it's all about just balancing the books right now because the team is set. Maybe a couple of more players depending because we have the academy as well. Let's not forget that we have the academy as well. We will need another centre back. Yes, Thiago Silva is going to sign a new contract,
But
but
he's 38. Come on.
come on, this 39. Like he's running towards 39.
Yeah,
By the time his contract gets over, he's going to be at the end of 39, 40, touching 40.
and yeah,
So
and we can say we have Wesley Fofana, but he's already had two big injuries in the last 2 3 years, and he's only like what 23, 21, 22.
exactly. So there's Fofana. Maybe Koulibaly leaves because of the rumors I'm seeing. But I don't see him leaving so early. At least
Yeah,
there's Koulibaly, there's Badeshil, we have Chaloba. So we have good players for backup as Thiago Silva. But I think we need another Thiago Silva. I mean, which is impossible to find. But I think we need another centre back who can play game like every game and consistently the way Thiago Silva has. So maybe that is one signing Chelsea will look at. But other than that, I think we are pretty much sorted for now at least. So
yeah. So that is the deadline day madness that has unfolded in front of our eyes. Thanks, Vineet, for just texting me short notice, and I was like, we had to do this, and we've almost spoken for an hour. We could have gone live, but yeah, we recorded. Next time we'll probably do a live thing because Chelsea fans we all know are across the globe, and probably someone might tune in and whatnot. But remains to be seen what we do in the remainder of the
so
season.
time goes, none of the Chelsea fans are going to sleep, or if they were sleeping, they're completely up, like
Yeah,
me.
exactly. I mean, I think in like 1 hour or so, they've got to log in into work, and some of them have still will
Yeah.
go to college and stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. And if you notice, tell make sure like, share, and subscribe. I'm only just 21 short of 800 subs. Make sure to subscribe to the Fanspire as well. Of course, given the last stretch of the Premier League, they will be doing more and more shows. Um, Link is in the title. Click it there. Takes you straight to the channel. Doesn't even take you off this video. And of course, as I keep saying at the end of every single video, make sure to stay safe and wash them hands. And let's look forward to the rest of the Premier League season. And
Yes.
catch you soon
We
in the
can
next
just go.
video. And let's see.
Yes. Thanks, Prasanna. Thanks for getting me on.